Hello, I am Jody Wolf. You're watching EXPOZ. Today, December 11, 2010, 5:13 in Birmingham, Alabama. Topic: I'm going to try to unravel at what point in time in history did Islam turn against its own women. I know that's a long subject there, but that's what we're going to talk about. Going back, Sparta or Spartans, they emerged around the 10th century BC, and Sparta was recognized as the overall leader of the combined Greek forces during the Greco-Persian Wars. They were like an empire, and they were a mighty empire. They renamed was renamed a superpower until it was defeated by the Romans, which was in 140 BC. And now my question is, Sparta was known to fight and even kill anyone that dishonored their women. The Spartans stood up and refused to let anyone get by with treating their women less than themselves. In other words, you didn't dishonor their women. You paid for it. And I'm just trying to find out at what time this kind of turned. And then you see the Islamic faith today, they seem to hate women. And we want to try to get to the point of where that started, and I think I have that. So today, Persia, of course, is the modern day Iran. We all know that. They turned on their own women, their wives, and even their daughters. They turned against them at one point. And I think any religion, I don't care what it is, that would hurt or take their own family members, and they do it more so to the women and to the girls. It's not usually the young men in the family; it's the women that they mistreat. So what gain does it give, or what does it make you feel like? High and mighty that you have to pick on women? I mean, really, think about that. But it came from Islam. That's where it came from. Now, during the day of Jesus, if you remember, they were going to stone a woman to death, and Jesus stopped it. He said, "Wait a minute, what are you doing?" And they said that she had sinned. He said, "Well, okay, the one of you that hadn't sinned, you cast the first stone." Well, all of them dropped their stones. But somewhere in there, of course, that Jacob and Esau are brothers. Now, Jacob received the birthright. Jacob's lineage is the Jews. Esau is the Arabs, okay? If it was not God's will for Jacob to be the Jewish lineage and for him to inherit the birthright, he would not have. Apparently it was God's will, because it did happen. Arabs have been blessed far more than the Jews, because Jews were held to a higher standard. And in all these oil-rich lands and countries. But what's so sad is the Arabs even continue today to use their might to do their best to destroy their own brothers. The Jews. Remember, Jacob, Jewish. Esau, Jewish, but Esau married out of a Jewish tradition, and he carried on one way. Jacob remained Jewish all the way through. His family stayed Jewish. And so anyway, so about 570 A.D., Muhammad comes on the scene. I think his dad died a few months before he was born, and when he was like 6 or 7, I think his mother died. But you know, at one point he was told to flee. He was told to get away because the townspeople or the country or wherever he was, they told him to flee, and he did. Now, if he was a prophet and if he was the same as Jesus, then why didn't Jesus flee? No, Jesus stood there. He stayed there because he knew what he had to do was save humanity. And if Muhammad had a message, at what point did that message change? At what point did the Persians transfer their knowledge of the Islamic faith and the traditions to the Iranian people, to the empire that it is today? You know, during that time, did they transfer to the Arabs, did they transfer then the knowledge and including or pass along the laws including the hatred of women and the hatred, when I say children, I'm going to be very specific, say girls, because it seems like everybody has more against the women and the girls than they do the men. Maybe because the men will jump up and kick your butt right back. You know, that's my guess. But Muhammad, if he wrote the Quran, then you incorporated into what he wrote your lineage, your heritage that was sent down to you. So where did you change? Because way back in the Spartan days, you didn't kill your daughters and your wives. You honored them, and you would fight for their honor, and you would kill those who dishonored them. So why did you change? Why did you change from protecting your wives and your daughters to killing them yourself? Where did that hatred come in? And if Muhammad passed that hatred to you, shame on him. Then he was not a prophet, because everything he gave to you and claims to have given to you, he had no witnesses. So, you know, that's my big question in this thing. At what point did you go from protecting your women, and this was way back till today, to hating your women? Is it because there are too many, you just want to get rid of a few and use religion as an excuse? At what point did you do that? I do not believe Muhammad did it. I believe Muhammad simply took the writings that were handed down and added to them a little bit. So once you man up, protect your women and children. It's what the Bible commands you to do. The Bible, the Quran, if it is any less than killing your own, then it is not a book that should be taught anywhere in the world. It's a book of evil. Jody Wolf, EXPOZ.